Alright, so my last video was titled Two-Step GA16DET, Two-Step There's a Spider on my camera, Two-Step something, and it was kind of a lie. That wasn't actually two-step at all. What actually was going on was my ECU was in a fail-safe mode, and it was basically just taking timing out and adding fuel to be safe. It was doing the full rev range. It wasn't stopping where I thought it was. I wasn't really paying attention to any of my gauges or nothing. Nothing was really hooked up. So I didn't really know at the time of that being filmed. But later on, when I watched it like a million times over, I kind of realized that it was going higher. And then the next day, I really realized it because I hooked everything back up and was watching. So, but I went ahead and just posted it because it was already filmed and whatnot. So, like I said, the ECU was running in like a fail-safe mode, and it was because the tune that I tried to put on there that I thought was the two-step wasn't. It didn't like it. It was the wrong tune, style tune, something. I'll dive into that a little bit later in this video or a different video, but it wasn't working. So, yeah, it looked cool. But it wasn't working. It wasn't what I thought it was. It wasn't two-step. So, like I said, the tune wasn't right. But how do you get a tune on a GA16DE? That's what this video is about. I'm gonna show you. So, there's a couple different ways, I guess, that you could do this. You can get like a standalone or a couple other things, but the thing that I have just goes into a stock. You need an SR20 ECU, and you have to solder it into there. And it's that guy right there. That's a stock SR20 ECU, and the daughter board that I'm talking about is inside. So let's pull it out and we'll get a little bit closer of a look. Alright, so now that I went ahead and pulled the ECU out, go ahead and pop this top cover off. And this little guy here is the daughter board that is what gives me my tuning capabilities. It's made by this company right here, motes.net. I don't know how well this will be able to be seen, but under here there's a little connector. You have to solder that into the ECU, and then you plug this board in here, and these two chips are removable, and those are what contain your tunes. So that's basically what gives you the tuning capability. So pull this out here, and there's a closer look at the pin connector that you have to solder in there. Try and move the camera here. So that's what it looks like from the top side here. Now I'm going to go ahead and flip the ECU over and show you the bottom. Go ahead and just pop this top cover back on so that I don't get any debris or anything like that inside there. Alright, so that's what the bottom of the ECU looks like. Move the camera here for a closer look. Here is the connections of the pin on the top that I showed you where you have to solder in. And basically from the factory, this will just look like a bunch of blank just like dead holes or whatever. They'll have a little dab of solder in there, and what you have to do is desolder each one of those so that it's a clean hole, and then you'll be able to pop that connector I showed you through from the top, and then you can come back down here, and as you see, you dab a little dab of solder on each one of these pins. And then on top of that, what you also have to do is, if you come over here and look, there'll be that little jumper. It'll be on CJ1, where you can see I have removed it, and you're going to need to desolder that and move it to CJ2. And that is what's going to tell the ECU to read from these tunes as opposed to whatever tunes are stored on the ECU. I'm pretty sure. Alright, so I have some clips of myself actually doing this to a different ECU that I tried back in like February, and I'm going to insert those now just so you can get a better idea of kind of what this will look like when it was blank, like I said, and you know, the desoldering method and soldering them in and yada yada.
You have a pair of little cutters so you can cut the wick?
Yeah, I got scissors, so we're working.
It just makes your life 1,000 times easier.
Alright, so now that, you know, I would have that soldered in here, basically, you're going to, you know, I can go ahead, come back here and put this top case back on, or the bottom rather. Flip back over on top here. And again, here's the board that I talked about. I'm not sure if I have any clips of it right now, but you know, I'll go grab it real quick. Alright, so once or now that I soldered the board in or whatever, if you want to, you know, if anybody maybe uses this in the future as a guide, once you have the board soldered in there, you're also going to have to get one of these guys. This is what I actually use to burn the tune to the chips, or to flash the tune to the chips, or whatever you want to say. But yeah, like I said, each one of these guys is removable, and you will put this in here. There's a USB cable that will connect this to the computer, and then you're going to want to use a program such as Tuner Pro or Niztune. I use Niztune to go ahead and make your tune file, and then from there you're going to want to use a program. I'm pretty sure you can do it through Niztune, but I actually use Flash and Burn, which is a program from Motes, which is the company that makes this and makes that board. I use their program to go ahead and flash the tunes over. And yeah, so I'm not going to dive in too heavy on anything on how to tune, just because I actually have like absolutely no clue on that yet. Today is actually the very first day where I actually finally figured out, like I said, my car was running wrong, got the tune running properly, and was able to make adjustments within the tune and see the correct feedback from the car, knowing that everything is working in order, communicating correctly, and so on and so forth. So, like I said, just wanted to kind of go over that stuff for everybody, in case this cricket is killing me. Does it come over on the camera? Can you hear the cricket? I'll know in a minute. But so yeah, I just wanted to make this video to go over the tuning thing for anybody that might have the idea of tuning this guy, or turboing this guy rather, or even an SR20 for that matter, and want a cheap solution to it. So yeah, I guess with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the ECU back in and show you like my two-step that I made, which doesn't really work that well. It's like my first try. Basically all I did was, I'll show you actually. Alright, so go ahead, open Niztune here. Trial, because I'm broke. Over here to fuel map. Basically you can kind of see where these ones are purple. I basically adjusted all the values from here over. I adjusted like over here a little bit less than like way over here, because I think that's how I'm supposed to do it. It's kind of what that map looks like. I feel like these are off. I don't know. For the record, I did already try this and then the motor didn't blow up, so I mean it's not catastrophically wrong, right? So that's the fuel map, right? So then the other map that I went and corrected, I probably destroyed it. I went into the timing map here, and again basically tried to just like around where I set the rev limiter to 45, so everything like from like 4,000 up, I took timing out of it. I don't know exactly how much. Alright, so it's the values were it. The way I did it was, I'm totally diving into this way more than I thought I was gonna. But so I would highlight an area like this, right? And then I would click percent change, and then all these values right now are at 100%. So if you want them to go up, you would put a little plus sign in there and say if you want it to go up 25%, you would do plus 125. So that would go up 25% because they're already at 100%. In my case, for the timing map, I wanted the values to go down, so I did plus, to start off I did I think like 98, and that's like, it took me a little while to figure out how to actually do the you know, the whatever thing, plus or minus. At first I was just doing +2 and it was trying to, you know, make them go up or -2%, and it would set all the values to 0. So the values are all at 0. So to make the timing go down, I did plus 95, and that put it down 5% because they're at 100, so 5% less. Right? Okay, so that's how I did that. And then, oh man. Oh man, okay. I don't even know how I just did that. I wasn't paying attention at all. And then basically just for rev limit, where is it? Right there. 45. And then I also did, I don't want that. I'm only looking at the computer through the camera, not at the computer screen, so this is like difficult. Pretty difficult. I also set the safety rev limit to 45, which this was originally at 12,000. I don't know why is it 12,000, but alright, so I put that at 45 too, and that's basically how I set up this little two-step tune that I have in there. So let's go ahead and close that. That is a quick little rundown of basically a cheap solution for tuning. I don't know, I hope that helps maybe some people, and I don't know, I hope that just like clarifies some stuff. I've been trying to get this done for a while, and I'm really happy and really excited that I was finally able to figure it out. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that tune looks like in here. I gotta put the ECU in first. Alright, now I'll show you what it's like. Yeah, it totally works. Alright, so, yeah, pretty smoky, but as you can see it works, basically. So, that's going to close it for this video now. As always, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure you stay tuned for the next one, where hopefully pretty soon I'll be popping flames with this bad boy.